Health workers in the US have been forced to make a choice between personal safety and their duty. Many are overlooking the risks and carrying on with the job. Desiree Rotundo is a registered nurse at a New York City hospital. She has been cleared to go back to work despite testing positive for coronavirus because she's not showing any symptoms. She joins us now live from New York. Desiree, good to have you with us. Before we go any further, I've got to ask you, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for having me, Adrienne. I've been asymptomatic for a number of days now, so I'm holding up fine.
Okay, so you've been cleared to go back to work, but you say you're asymptomatic. You tested positive. Does that mean that you're no longer infectious?
That doesn't necessarily mean that, no. So I had symptoms April 1st. I had a fever, headache, sore throat, and then I was quarantined for 7 days. After that, I got my nasal swab done. I was tested. And then I received my results this past Sunday that I was positive while I was at work.
So why have the bosses at your hospital cleared you to return for work? Does it mean that they're particularly short-staffed right
now? It doesn't mean that we're necessarily short-staffed right now. I think they're trying to send the message that, if we keep everybody home that tests positive, we probably wouldn't have that many staff to help us out and would probably collapse the system, in my opinion, which I partly agree with, and I understand it from their perspective.
But your colleagues, those who haven't had the virus, must be particularly worried about you being in their midst. I mean, that's going to cause some problems, isn't it?
That's absolutely correct. When I made the announcement to my colleagues when I found out on Sunday I was working, and I said to them, I'm positive, I have the virus. And, many of them were concerned. I had one colleague who is immunocompromised, who spoke to me personally and said, you really shouldn't be here. And I emailed my, my manager, my supervisor, and they basically told me that I'm okay to keep working as long as I don't have symptoms. Even though I may be contagious. And I said, I'll take extra precautions. I'll be sure, to keep my distance and, do what we have to do. But that's what it is right now.
Right. So you find out mid-shift that you tested positive and they didn't send you home.
Correct. They did not send me home. I emailed and they sent an email to the Employee Health Services. And I received a response right away that I can continue to work.
Okay, we're not going to name the hospital where you work, but tell us something of conditions there right now. Just how busy has it been during the pandemic? How are you and your colleagues coping?
Obviously, there have been so many changes. We've switched units entirely. I'm originally we're cardiac nurses on our floor, so this is really a whole different ballgame. It has been very busy. A lot of it, I think, has been manageable now that time has gone by and we've been able to get past some of the hiccups that have happened. But I think our major concern right now is just, the fact that we are short on PPE. I was just informed earlier this morning from a colleague that we didn't have any protective gowns. And then when they were sent, they were only allowed to use one for the shift for all the patients. Which I think is unacceptable.
Desiree, it's been really good to talk to you. I really appreciate you taking the time and trouble to come and talk to us. We wish you well. Many thanks indeed. Desiree Rotundo there
Thank you.
in New York.